when you're creating a super admin from the provisioning system, you don't see all these information over there. All that we gave is the first name, last name, and the username and the associated email ID, right? And when you come to the instance, the system is asking all these data in order to create a user account. The reason behind that is your intention when you are creating a super administrator in the provisioning system. The main motto behind that is you need to have a login, you need to have a user account who can log into your instance and do the further configuration. So there should be some user who can quickly log into your instance and do further configuration. And that is the reason in your provisioning system, the system doesn't ask you all these details over there. Just few details which are mandatory or which are like you will not be able to create a user account without that information. Okay, that is what is going to be required to create a super admin in your provisioning system. But when you are creating a user account in your instance, you are creating an employee. As though you are creating an employee, you need all this relevant information to create a user account or create an employee record in your SuccessFactors instance, guys. Okay, that's the difference, guys, in both the ways of creating a user account. So let me go ahead and create a new user account over here. Give me a second, guys. Let me go ahead and create one more user account here. I'll take questions from the chat window in a few minutes, guys. Don't mind about that. Okay. And you can see I'm going to create one more user from the instance. I'm not able to hear you, Sunil. I'm just creating a user from this particular screen, guys. I'm just providing the other fields that has been made as a mandatory. And you're going to update the manager, HR, resource information, and to which department he belongs to, let's say. And I'm just populating the required fields over here, guys. I'm not going to populate all the complete details here, only the fields that has been mandated. And you can see I created a new user account from the instance, guys. And we can search for the new user account from this particular place. Let's say I created this dare here. You can see I'm able to find this employee record here. Or if I go to this particular people search option, you see here, I can go ahead and search for the new employee from here as well. So you created a new user account, so for dare, and how you are going to assign the admin privileges. By default, this person, whatever you are going to create from the instance, he is not going to be an administrator, guys. We have to go ahead and explicitly assign the required admin privileges based on his area of consulting, whether say he's a compensation consultant or he's a easy consultant or he's a goals and performance management consultant. Based on his expertise, we have to assign the required admin privileges to this guy. Where you are going to assign the required privileges to this guy is, if you go back to your administration tools and go to set user permissions, and you see there is an option called as administrative privileges. If you go to your manage employees under your administration tools, if you go to your set user permissions again, and you have an option called as administrative privileges. Okay, and let me assign these permissions to him, and then I'll take all the questions from the chat window, guys. So you have to search for this user, whatever you are interested, and this is the user that I am interested in granting the required admin privileges to him. And you see here, by default, he doesn't have any admin privileges here. So what I'm going to do is like I selected this user account which I just created, and I'm going to assign the required. All these are nothing but the domains, guys. Your security domains. And if you click any one of them, you will be able to see what sort of activities that has been mentioned under this particular domain. You can see reset user password. Yes, there is allowed to reset employee's password. You have to go and select this particular checkbox. Say if he is not authorized to reset user passwords, you have to uncheck this particular checkbox from here, guys. If it is allowed, you have to select this checkbox, or otherwise you have to unselect that particular checkbox, guys. In the same fashion, you have to select or unselect the corresponding checkboxes whatever you are seeing here, guys. At a high level, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to grant the complete admin privileges to all of you guys. So that is the reason I'm granting the complete domain access to the administrative domain access to all of you here, guys. Let me grant the permission that we selected over here. You see here, so we granted the admin privileges to the new user whatever we created for the dare, guys. So that is how you are going to do this second activity. You created a user using the manage users option, and then you assign the required admin privileges to this user. It's a two task activity, and we completed both the activities, guys. And yes, you created a super admin, but how you are going to share the credentials? See, so far we haven't created or we haven't provided the password to their account here. So how usually in your project implementations, how you are going to share these credentials is while you are creating a user itself, in your instance, while you are creating a new user itself, you can send a welcome notification. We are going to customize the email notifications of your SuccessFactors system, guys. But just I'm updating you how you are going to communicate these credentials is while you are creating a new user from the manage users option, you have an option to send a email notification, guys. Let me go here. You see here, send the email notification has been disabled in the system, guys. That is the reason you are not able to send any email notifications. But you see here, you have an option to send a welcome email to this user, and this welcome email is going to capture the default password, the randomly generated password in the email notification, guys. Yes, we can customize the email notifications going out of your SuccessFactors system, guys. We can do that. We can activate them, deactivate them. We can customize the text. All those things we can do in your SuccessFactors system, guys, which we are going to do at a later point of time in your Introduction to Mastery module itself, guys. Okay, and so we have seen this second way of creating your user account in your SuccessFactors system using this manage users option, guys. Let me take a couple of questions from your chat window, guys. Then I'll go ahead with the third option, guys. The question here is like, can a super admin can log into your provisioning system? No, Srikanth. Your super administrator will not be able to log into your provisioning system with the credentials whatever you are going to create in the provisioning system. That credentials are purely associated with your instance only. They are nothing to do with your provisioning system login. Your provisioning system login, creation, deletion of the user accounts who can log into your provisioning system is going to be completely controlled by your SAP SuccessFactors, guys. Okay, and let me take another question. Farooq is asking, what is your provisioning system? Your provisioning system is nothing but the backend system, Farooq, and that is where you are going to activate, deactivate your modules. Say you got your license for a couple of modules of your SuccessFactors system. Out of that, say today you are only activating compensation. You see here, you have to go down that activate that module. So by default, you don't see this module activated in your provisioning system, even though you brought licenses to the associated module, but those modules will not be activated in your provisioning system by default. Being a consultant, we have to go ahead and activate this module by selecting these appropriate checkboxes here, guys, which we are going to work in further sessions, guys. But at a high level, that is what we are going to do in your provisioning system. Onaja, I'm not sure why you are not able to hear me, but just as a general thing, right? Under your audio settings, right? You have to select the computer audio, Vanaja. If you go to your options, under your options, you see audio section. Under your audio section, you have to select the computer audio in your GoToMeeting settings, Vanaja. Under options in your GoToMeeting window, go to audio and then select the computer audio, Vanaja. Then you will be able to hear me. If you are not able to hear me, then it might be a different problem altogether. Okay. Uh, 1 second, guys. This is one of the problem that usually I see on the first and second day while people attending through GoToMeeting, guys. You have to select the computer audio in order to listen to these things. Or if you select the other option, you have to dial in, guys. You have to dial in. You can see phone call. You have to dial into the using the your phone option, guys. But by default, you can listen all my audio using the computer audio itself, guys. You don't see any problem with respect to that. Okay. Okay. 1 second, guys. I don't see any other questions over there. Yeah, one question from Farouk is like in SAP ECC, we have landscape, we don't have landscape in SF. No, we do have landscape in success factors, guys. And this landscape, it again depends on the client who is implementing the project. He can go for a dev environment and he can go for QA and he can have a production. And there are clients who implemented just your QA and production as well, guys. If it is a small organization, they go for this kind of landscape, guys. And just for your information, you are going to migrate your changes, the configuration changes that you are going to do in your dev box or dev instance to your production or QA using the instance synchronization tool, guys, which we are going to see in our training sessions. Instance synchronization tool, guys. This is one of the latest thing that I added to my course content, guys. You see, instance synchronization tool is the one which we will use to migrate your configuration changes from one environment to another environment, guys. And Samir has a question, guys. Can we make a mandatory field or uh, on the profile when you are creating a user using the manage users option? Yes, we have the complete control to make fields as mandatory or optional, Samir, which we are going to work when we have started working on the data model set. That is when we are going to see this sort of configuration, Samir. Probably it will take another 10 sessions approximately, Samir. That is when we'll see that configuration. Yeah, SF consultants are going to create the privileges or assign the required permissions to the all other employees in your success factor system. Tarun, provisioning system is not the main system, Tarun. It's a backend system where you are going to activate, deactivate your modules. We cannot call it as a main system because your main system, all sort of configuration is going to be done from your instance. All the security aspects or the modules configuration, anything is going to be done from your instance. Okay.